All in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.
Yes. We talked about it. Now we're going to be about it tonight. We're going to have one of them shows tonight. And we're going to have a daggone conference line right after. Oh, boom, body blows. We're going to let it hang out just because I am part of the male species here. Don't hold back. But then again, you know not to hold back anyway. I'd rather be alone than married wrong. Tracy J., I got to give you credit for that title. I got to give you all credit for discussing it and touching on it a little bit. And now's a forum, the verbal forum, to let it all hang out. We're just going to rock on all through the night, even with the conference line afterward. I might just put it on my phone and just walk out in the cool and just, you know what I mean? This is not about me tonight, even though it's on the platform and everything like that. But so many people down through the years and even beyond the title of this show, we've all witnessed and experienced, some of us, some really not even just the married wrong, but the relationships wrong. But we'll title it that because the marriage is something that took an extra step to make manifest, and nobody gets married for it to mess up. Unless you marry for a green card or something and somebody messes up, unless you're married for some kind of business deal to get somebody's citizenship and it messes up. It's not supposed to be that anyway, so it's not really a messed up thing because it's business. But sometimes even in those unions, you'll have a person who's like, well, listen, we're married for citizenship, but you're looking kind of good over there in that tight dress. And you're like, wait a second, this is not what that's all about. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, if you want that citizenship, you know, I need to wrap around you like that tight dress. That's how things can get messed up. But nobody gets married for it to mess up. So is it a matter of when we say, and the statement is correct, I'd rather be alone than married wrong, right? Because we get this pressure from other people. When are you going to get married? You hit that age, and especially the pressure on the women. When are you going to get married? And some women succumb to it and get married. You know what I mean? So then they have to face the consequences, and their friends who are pushing them into getting married are nowhere in sight. And now you're suffering. You can't go to them because they're going to talk about you, but they were the ones to bug you and push you and get you in that state of mind. So it's a quagmire. It's a catch-22 situation. Is it something that maybe possibly, I'm just going down some possibilities to stir things up because I do want my sisters up in here to talk on this tonight. You see what I mean? Is it a thing where it was lust and you thought it was love, or some of us fall in love easy? Some of us bump into somebody in the Walmart checkout line, and all of a sudden, how's that song go? Look at Tamar. Tamar married some white man after 6 months. I'm like, wait a second, I'm going to talk about that on Patreon. And again, I'm going to mention that early on. The membership on YouTube, if you signed up for it, I'm going to knock it down. And I just want you all to go to Patreon, patreon.com LanceScurv. The reason why? I don't trust YouTube. I don't trust YouTube to speak freely on the membership aspect of the platform. And then they turn around and will probably violate the guys because you look against this community. You said this word, it's hate speech. So I said, you know what? Instead of depriving folks there and making mediocre, just regular stuff that I would throw up on the channel anyway, just leave that alone and come on to Patreon to support the channel. Patreon.com/LanceScurv. Same Patreon, same LanceScurv. You can just go there. And I don't try to dig people deep in their pockets. $5 a month, I'll be posting every day. I have some footage today that will go up on the regular YouTube channel. And I was probably going to say, well, after, but we're going to do the conference line. So if I stay up late, I'll do something. But we're definitely going to start this thing tomorrow, every single day, raw stuff several times a day, at least once, because we have everything else to do, right? But we got some footage outside. We got a good interview outside, and we're going to share that. But it won't probably be tomorrow up on the regular channel. But the wheels are turning, and we're going to be working hard and putting out some quality content and bringing you into our lives more. And that's my reward back to everybody for their support. Much, much love that way. But let's go back. Why do people end up married wrong? Did one person lie to get you caught up in something? Did they promise something that they couldn't follow up on? Were you delusional? And this is both sides now, but usually it's the ladies that say, I'd rather be alone than married wrong. Men jump into things, but I'm not blaming women. I'm just asking different aspects to stir up the conversation that we're going to have. Is it that maybe you thought something that wasn't there? Because that happens a lot. And it happens with men too, but with women, it happens a lot. Women are a lot wiser now, but lots of times they will read the situation wrong. But if you take your time and you have some kind of sense, you got to know something when you see it. It's not just, well, no, if you show me something green, I'm not going to tell you it's red. After a while, you're going to realize that it's green. You'll figure it out for yourself. So we have a lot of things to talk about, but this statement rings true. And anybody who goes against it, there's something wrong with you. If you'd rather be married wrong to be married, then don't come complain when things do go wrong, just to marry any old person, because I've seen this. I'm going to put this out there. When me and Mrs. Scurv got married, there was a young lady at the wedding. And, well, she wasn't a young lady. She was a sizable amount of years older than us, but it stoked the feeling in her like, I have to get married. So within the next couple of weeks, because she was single, she was talking about, are you going to come to my wedding? And I didn't dip and dab in the lady talk, but Mrs. Scurv came back and said, oh, so-and-so is getting married. I said, to who? She was complaining that she wants to find somebody. And she said, well, she found somebody. Mrs. Scurv is not going to knock anybody, but I'm like, I'll say it. I'm like, wait a second. And so she had this wedding in the same colors that Mrs. Scurv laid out in the wedding that we had, and almost down to the same kind of limousine. And we did that. We did it like that because, we've been married before. And we want to do everything right, which required me to be long-suffering or to have a little discipline before the date, okay? We even did that right, okay? We wanted to make a statement to do it that way. So everything went well, was nice, and I'll be sharing some pictures on the Patreon too. I'll do that. I'll do that just for y'all. A whole lot of them too, right? And that was way back in time. So the bottom line, this woman, I don't think I went. I think I had to work. I don't think we both had to work and we didn't have days or whatever, but she saved the pictures and stuff like that and video and everything like that. Wouldn't you believe this woman used the same colors in the wedding, the same everything, except a different photographer. We had a photographer. I don't think she had a professional photographer, but she copied everything. And this was probably like about 6 weeks after our wedding. She didn't know the Joker and she turned around and got married. So it didn't really work out. Well, duh, you know what I mean? Because she seemed to be the person who fell in love with love. And I want to do this too. I want to do a wedding too. But if you do that and you don't have the right person with you, you're going through the form and fashion and you're in love with love. I mean, I'd rather just like not go through all of that and just find the right person. If we're broke and can't afford it, we're not going to be feeding all these people. And, I mean, and that's what kind of happened with us too. There were a lot of haters there. And they are damn sure there to get this and get that and take this and take that. At one point, those jokers were walking out with like the milk crates of what was that we had? They had all types of drinks and different things, and they were just taking it. And I was mad, but I didn't want to make a scene. Some dude bumped into me and looked me in the eye behind in the kitchen in the hall that we had the thing in. But let's just say it. You're walking out of here with my shit. And you're looking at me like you're entitled. I don't even know you. So, this can go down many different roads and stuff like that. But I'd like to hear the opinion of my sisters who are here. And if anybody wants to come in and talk on that, because this is more of a participation show. I'm not going to sit here and dictate to anybody how they should feel. I just want to hear from the sisters who are here. And I want to look at some of the comments. Until that time, let me scroll on up and acknowledge everybody. Yes, and all the superstars came in early today. Master Glam was first. Let me see. Mixed genre faves came on in. It surprised me. It's like, boom, Tracy J. It's just like when there's a drug bust and everything is calm, and all of a sudden you see all these cars go boom, 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 like, whoa, I'm paralyzed. But it's not a drug bust. It's nothing bad. It's all good. Let me see who else. I have seen Kwame, how are you, my brother? I'd like to hear your opinion on this too, right? Okay, here we go. We have some other names before we get down to it. I'm just scrolling down. Don't want to miss anybody. And I'm sweating like a dog already still too. And I have to see that. Best we just focus on the show. Riri. Oh, yeah. Got everybody up in here. Okay, let me see. Wow, there's a lot of comments so far. Yeah. I love it. I love the energy. Yes. Michael Parks. Yeah. Well, the Braxtons. Yeah. She just got engaged to some white dude she just met. And so I think she has, how many kids? I think she has 1 and he has 5. So that's already some drama right there. And they staged it. It was like, Mrs. Scurv showed it because she used to keep up with them. I'm like, these things are staged for future drama. The Goddess V, how are you? Let me put a comment up here. Yeah, societal expectations have people stuck in loveless marriages or lack of courage to get out. That's so true. Lack of courage to get out. And what do you think that is? You think it's because, okay, here, my wireless mouse jumped up. Here it goes. Let me see. Okay. Mixed genre faves. Let me see. She says, people rush into marriage for different reasons and agendas. Some do it for financial security. Others do it to fill a void. None of it has love in it. Love has to be an ingredient in marriage. There you go. Truer words. And Angie Young, Sister Angie, I know several want out of their marriage. Let me see. I think she was about to say some more. I see something more coming. Let's go to Michael Parks here. Oh, it's great to know you're doing well. Okay, yeah. Well, excellent, magnificent. Okay, that was a message to Tracy. Okay, we'll take. Yeah, summer with a narcissist, not good at all. That's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Okay, Scorpion Maiden. Okay, I like the idea of being single, then getting married. Been there, done that. Got the shirt to prove it. Domestic violence woke me up. PDQ. Wow. That's another aspect of it. That's another aspect of being married wrong. You know, wow. That's crazy. So what can I say about it? Let's just talk about some things I've known of until y'all come on in. I'll drop the link again. Oh, how are you? Verna May. Greetings, mighty God SCURV. Thanks. Glad to finally catch a live. I've finally stopped feeling pity for my ex. Hallelujah free. Oh, wow. Julia's here too. Welcome in, Julia. Whoa. This is nuclear tonight. Nuclear family and nuclear energy. I'll drop the link in once again. Yeah, domestic violence is a very much rude awakening. You know, the thing is that, I don't know, when we're young, we say sometimes we enjoy being free and all that stuff, but that feeling of wanting more from a person and to be with them when you have that feeling, I think lots of times when you're coming out of your teen years into your early 20s, depending on, it can't be just that, because you could have lived a sheltered life in your 20s and you get into your 30s and start to feel a certain way. But it's not so much the person. To me, like, okay, I've seen situations like this. This is just an example. This is not me. It's the freedom. It's the freedom that comes with that particular relationship that you think it's the relationship, but it's really the freedom of going into adulthood, right? Count on Kevin Clark for always saying some inside joke that nobody knows about. So yeah, this has something to do with marriage. You see what he said? Are you having fun in there? Because I'm a big man. That's a story in itself. That makes no sense to nobody here. That's one of our private jokes, and I'll explain it. I had a guy who owned a gym that I used to train in my teens and into my 20s, bodybuilding gym. And he was like Archie Bunker on steroids. And he was also into the man thing. Like everything was man. He was so caught up in his manhood. I'm a big man. I'm strong. I'm mighty. I'm packing 260 pounds and you're only 190. So don't even worry about it. You know, I'll wipe the floor up with you and everything. He told stories that were tall tales, obviously. So with all of his masculine endowment and how he was this, he'd shake his head and yeah, my name is so-and-so. I won't put his name out there. He's transitioned. You know, he had his bad ways. He had his good ways, but he's a funny character. He was tall. He was big, but he didn't make for a good bodybuilder, put it that way, but he owned this gym. So he was always, you know, berating us if we weren't trying to put on weight and be bigger men. And I'm a man. But he had so many deficiencies. So here it is that, you know, he's walking down the street. He was looking for his wife, I think. I think she was supposed to be out. He went out in the yard or something like that, nighttime. And he went looking for her and didn't see her. So he sees a car parked down the block that he's not used to seeing. But he's thinking like, you know, he didn't make any connection. So he decided to walk down the street. Now, I have to tell this story in a very decent way because this is not Patreon, right? So he's walking down the street. He gets closer to the car. He walks on the side of the driver. He didn't want to sneak up on him. It was obvious, but there was a shadow cast and he went right where the light was hitting the front seat where you can see some light. So he saw a man in the driver's seat laying back with his hand on his forehead. And so he tried to be cool, like he was just going to walk by, but he saw a woman down in the man's lap. Now, come on, y'all. We're all adults. We know exactly what was going on. So the woman looked up and the street light hit her face exactly and illuminated her face. And it was his wife. It was his wife. And let's put it this way. She had a protein mask on her face and out of her mouth. And she looked at him and he looked at her and he tried to be cool, but he went through a little psychotic moment here because remember, he's this big man and so he said, "Are you having fun in there? Because I'm a big man," and walked away. I'm not laughing at him, but that didn't make no sense. I mean, that's the thing you say before you start to kick some butt. Are you having fun in there? Because the fun's over. No, he said, "Are you having fun in there? Because I'm a big man." What did that mean? His manhood was crushed at that point, I'm quite sure. So that's the story behind that. Every show, Kevin always brings up a golden era story from back in our youth, which we're all young, right? We're not going to admit to that. We're all young right now, right? So yeah, let me check out some more comments here. Okay. Is marriage really about being in love or is it business? My guy, King David states. Might be. We have arranged marriages from like way back in the day. So sometimes we have arranged marriages where nobody says anything. Like, okay, we know what we're getting married for, but it's an unspoken thing. I mean, people can be dysfunctional on both sides and never admit anything. And when crap hits the fan, here comes the finger pointing. Here comes the families behind both of them who are defending their side of things, not knowing really what it really was that brought them together. There are dudes out here. I'm telling you, come on, ladies. There are dudes out here who get married because they don't have a place to stay. They don't have a place to stay. Oh, yeah, I get hooked up with her. They'll go for stability. I mean, women go for stability, but men are just more outright with it. You know, they're not going to say that, but that's in the back of their mind. Some men look to use women and will tell you everything that you want to hear, right? Tell you everything you want to hear just to get in. Just to get those goodies, and the goodies might not necessarily be you. There are down low brothers out here that will get with a woman who has the resources to sustain his life, and he says, well, I'm going to live a separate life, a secret life, and I'll just be her for the facade. And I know she's not really into me. She just wants somebody to fill that slot. You see what I mean? So marriage, in the language of marriage, is like currency. I mean, and I've used this example before. I've said before, if I told you and meant it and followed through with it, that tomorrow morning, I'm going to come to your home with 4 18-wheelers with the trailers, and in the trailer is going to be cash packed in from the floor to the ceiling, that when you open those doors of the 18-wheeler, the cash is going to come flowing out, and I'm bringing 4 of them to you. And they'll be in large denominations, and you'll never have to work again in your life or concern yourself about the bills because you'll have so much, you'll be able to pay it off for the rest of your life, plus some, and live happily ever after. Which money is not the thing that brings happiness, but it takes a lot of strain off of our life. And you're like, Lance, this guy, Lance, he's got to be lying. But see, you didn't look at the details. You didn't realize that when I brought that money to you, it would be what? Japanese yen. So you're ready to go spending and shopping spree. Not that I'm saying it, you know, at that point, if you had four 18-wheelers, I grant you're going to splurge a little bit, but you weren't ready for the fact that you had to change this cash over. So the language that I was speaking is a different language. What I was offering was a different currency. And oftentimes we talk the talk and the sweet nothings and the little whispers in the ear, not knowing that we're speaking a completely different language. And when the boots hit the ground, when the rubber hits the road, and down the line, we start to think, what the hell's going on here? I thought, yeah, you thought. That's the problem. You thought. You didn't confirm. You have to confirm what you mean, because we have different upbringings. We have different influences. And like I always tell people about that book that I saw years ago, right? It's Riri, look what she said. Keep constantly telling you it's going to change, baby. No, you're holding me hostage. You see that? Brother Kwame said, Julia, I love my ex so much that she was brainwashed by those around her because they saw me as a so-called foreigner. Isn't that something? Mozinga, yes. Mozinga from Belgium. Gotta say it. Brother, you called here, you called into the conference line the other night, and you used the foreign number. Also, let me, for the conference line later on, I'm going to drop, I made a page for the conference line, and it has all the international numbers that are there. And if you ever forget the international numbers, just go to LanceScurv.com, and it's on the top. The top is right above LanceScurv. It's right above the E and the S in LanceScurv, and you'll find it there. And that will always be there until changed, and we're going to make it happen. Let me just drop that in here now so y'all can see it. Show you I followed through on what I said I was going to do. Sometimes you get a little sleepy, a little fatigued, but the spirit is there. That's the page there. That if you're not in a country, like the United States, you can call those numbers and you can get through. Matter of fact, let me just pin these numbers on top. The actual, hold on. All right, here we go. But the actual American, okay, boom. Forgot to pin it up there. Hold on. Okay, that's the regular page. We'll put the number and I'll pin it up. My internet is working a little slow tonight, so if things take a little while to get through, please bear with me. Let me go on to the regular page and pin this up. Pin this to the bump, baby. All right, this should be through. Let me pin this up top. So that number will always forever hang in this particular episode, and you'll know where to go when the show's over, because we're going to let it hang out. Married wrong. Well, what is married right? What are the things that constitute a good marriage? Let's go about that. Give me your opinions on that. Let me see what it is that will be the ideal for you, because we have social media, we have the sexes fighting against each other, which really is a plan for us, because it happens elsewhere but not as much. The black man against the black woman, and the black woman against the black man. Don't you think that that's engineered? We here know that that's engineered because they want to come against us as the black family. No black family, no black children, no black building blocks for the black community. No, they want to, and this is a long-term plan, and it's not a conspiracy because it can't be. There's just too many things going against us. But I'm not here to say that to discourage anybody, because we have a lot going for us, and we have to keep our minds right to keep moving forward, right? In that trajectory. Because you look at these commercials, always a white man and a black woman. Always a black man and a white woman. And some of us are so fooled to think that this is progress. Well, we're progressing as a society. But you still got principals calling little black kids niggers. You still got these hate-related crimes going on about us. God knows how many times we've been to a restaurant and drank or ate Caucasian spit. Did they ever tell you what that special sauce was? Huh? Maybe some bugs in there. I don't know, but I don't trust it when you see how many things go on, especially in America, spelled with 3 Ks. But yeah, right now, it's about pulling us apart. And so we need not really be against a proper relationship, but it's got to be done right, because we've received so much trauma and damage that those of us who have never experienced a proper relationship will say, oh, what the hell? I don't need it. I don't want it anyway. So maybe we all should think of it like maybe we made wrong choices, didn't see certain signs, but still you're best to be alone than to be married wrong. Seriously, it makes no sense to go through all of that. Let me pull up some of these comments. The comments are coming down quick, or maybe I'm just bouncing out of it too fast. Yeah, let me see. Reese in the house. How are you? Let me see here. Right. Shangamir, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong or right. Please forgive me. Love is not a reliable foundation to build a marriage upon. No, it's not. Really, that's the icing on the cake. That's the icing on the cake. You know, it's got to be practical. I see a lot of that over here in Ghana, right? Now, I've said a lot of things about Ghana and Ghanaian relationships and stuff, and sometimes about some of the women, not to demonize them, right? But what I've learned from that is that many others outside of the United States, and maybe some, they have to have security. It's a lot of things that are going on in that it's a commitment, but you got to have security. And in many other minds of people, you'll grow to love this person as they fulfill their duty to you. That's another way of looking at it. I don't think that that's the predominant thing in the United States with Black folks, right? I think we get caught up in the whole video thing. Not all of us, but some of us. Where, you know, the women see the guy in the drop top, in the six pack, and he slows down and looks at her and pulls down his glasses and looks over the glasses at her and smiles. And after that, he tells her to come over by the wave of the finger, and it's heaven after that. Was it wrong for many of our elders to make us think that way? I know that some elders made it, you know, the knight in shining armor syndrome. And then you have the elders that told you the truth. Don't be letting these Negroes get up between your legs at every moment's notice. You got to make sure he loves you. But then if he loves you and loves the thought of you, he would have been building himself up to accommodate you, to take care of you. And that's not a simp move. Don't get up in here and call me no simp, because you have a responsibility as a man. You see what I mean? See, a lot of men think that, well, yeah, man, they're bitter. Man, we got to dog these BITCHs, man, because they ain't no good. If they ain't no good, then why are you depositing your sperm up in their womb? If they're no good, why don't you think of her? If they're this bad, why are you committing yourself to making a child with this woman? You can do that, and it may be a bad choice in hindsight for other reasons, but how do you have this attitude, but yet and still, what are you going to do? MGTOW? Men going their own way? Where are you going your own way to? Like, we don't want to be bothered with women. Well, I know I'm made for a woman. I know I'm married, but I mean, that's what it is for me. I'm going to speak like a single man. That's all I'm going to deal with. What am I going to deal with? I'll be at the gas station pumping gas and, ooh, look at that gas tank. Look at the, let me stick my thing in there. Are you crazy? I mean, like I said, you know, marriage is not just about, oh, love, we're holding hands. Yes, we go to bed together. Mm-hmm. You have children. You have responsibilities. You're bringing life into this world. You got a mortgage to pay. You got insurance to pay. You got to go and pick your children up. You got to go to the doctor's appointments. You got to make sure to maintain yourself. The days you don't want to get up and go to work, you have to get up and go. So, I mean, it's, all of a sudden you see what it is. A lot of times after all of that, you don't have time for love now, do you? Mary J. Blige? Love is all we need. Or was it love is what we need, or all I don't know, but this love thing gets us in trouble. Scorpion Maiden says, I was blinded by what I wanted. It took 20 plus years to wake up and realize it wasn't me. Had to run or permanently be taken out of life. I appreciate your videos so much. Love the truth. Thank you, Scorpion Maiden. And even I may be off. I'm human, but I had a lot of life experiences, and I throw things out there. By all means, the examples that I've said, I'm not throwing off on anybody. We're just kind of mixing it up. You see what I mean? But I appreciate you sharing your words of appreciation. I put a lot of work into this, and I thank you. I thank you. Okay. Mixed genre. From now on, I'm going to call you genre. It's like a tongue twister to me. Yeah, but you're very special on this platform. And Michael Parks, love to a certain degree has to be in marriage, because marriage is intended to be a lifelong partnership, and you cannot spend every day seeing somebody you do not love. That's also the truth. That's also the truth. But what proportion? It has to be in there, right? Like you take cinder blocks and you take concrete. But when you mix the concrete, you can't put too much water or the consistency won't be enough to hold the cinder block wall that you're building in place. But if you don't put enough water, it won't stick either, right? So what proportion of love should we have? And we have Master Glam in the house. It's on and popping. Let's get ready to rumble. But we're not rumbling, we're vibing with each other. Welcome to me. I know you got something to say, and that goes for else who wants to come.
Oh, so it's Tracy the one that gave me this topic because we were talking about marriage and stuff last night. So I mean, it was fire. I was like, I wish Lance was recording this because some of the things that we were like uncovering about each other and about like narcissists and stuff.
Were you in the conference line, or you was just like a direct phone call? You in the conference line?
No, this was on the conference line. Yeah.
Okay, then it is recorded. It records automatically. So we got it.
I tell you, it was crazy, Lance. But, you should listen. Well, I don't have a problem, if you listen to it. I don't know if there's a problem.
Right.
But it's just so.
Yeah. Just let me know if you on both sides you can private, But yeah, it always records as long as there's two people there. Yeah, so feel free, and that's what I encourage everybody to do. If I'm not there, I don't have to be there. You can go into the same time, hello, really, and start the conversation. You'll know how it goes. It automatically records. So go ahead. I want to hear it.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say it's just a lot of people that I know in my generation, a lot of them are like kind of like, I don't know if I should say like they're trying to prove something, but it's just like it's kind of like they just want to be like able to say like, oh, I was married. Nah, I was married. Like, do you really truly understand what goes into like actually being married, beyond the wedding and stuff and the dress and the makeup and being the actual missus? Like, it's so funny that this guy said that women actually get more out of marriages versus the man, which I kind of I can see both sides of what he's saying and my reality. But he said that men usually they're the ones that have to they're giving you their last name. There's certain things that they won't be able to do anymore. And I just thought it was so funny because people have so many different perceptions of what actual marriage is, and it's so important for us to vet for people who we want if we do want to be married, to actually vet for people and actually learn that person and find out who they are. Don't just tell the person like, oh, this is what I want and this is what I'm looking for, because there are a lot of manipulative people, a lot of narcissistic people who will actually start to mold themselves into the person that you're telling them that you want. And they see you as this person. You might not be you might not be Beyonce, because I know y'all obsessed with Beyonce, like literally obsessed. But you might not be Beyonce.
Let me interject real quick. I've never technically she's an attractive young lady. Technically she's well built, and I honestly, I don't see her that way. She does. I mean, the fact that I'm married, everything. When I look at her, I'm like, I don't question people. I can see technically that but zero, like, wow, like the secret. Damn, never have I done that. You've never heard me on the show and on the old shows speak about, well, if this person looks like Beyonce. I've never said it. You've never heard me say it. But yeah, I just want to say that she just doesn't do anything for me. And I'm not looking for her to do anything for me, but I'm just saying I've never seen why, like, I could see why the world's going crazy over her. Technically I can, but there's no spark. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, I think actually Kelly Rowland looks better than her, but
oh yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah.
But
that.
It's just so funny. It's so funny. Hold on, Lance, really quick.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. This is why when Master Glam speaks on the show from Mother's point of view, we hear it in the background. She got that serious surround sound, and it adds the texture to
Man,
the show.
but a lot of people like beyond, like, leaving the Kelly subject, as Kelly does look better than Beyonce, but a lot of people, it's like we're not really getting to know these people who we really want to be with. You might be with someone who's trying to mold themselves into something that you want, and you don't have to be the finest person in the world, but like Lance said, guys, we have to really, really start to critically think, because when we are in our emotions and stuff and we don't critically think, we really put ourselves in harm's way. There's people out here who are almost like predators. Like, they're looking for a place to stay. They're looking for hot food to eat. Like, they might not really be able to afford an apartment right now. They might not have no good credit. There's people who are like that, and they'll see you and they'll be like, wow, this person is so attractive. Like, they have everything. Like, they're smart, they have a car, they got a good job, no kids, anything that it is that person is
There you go.
attracted to. They might see that in you and be like, I know I'm not, the most perfect person, but, I think I'm good enough. So, maybe
You're
if I
more, you're more
start
than
to,
good. You're doing the damn
right,
thing. You're great. I'll tell it.
you, you start to mold yourself into that person that they are looking for, and essentially you're tricking them in, and you're tricking yourself too, because at the end of the day, like, who wants to wake up every day and be fake? Who wants to wake up every day and be practicing, and, oh, I got to remember to do this, I got to remember, I got to say this, and I got to remember to do this way, and this is the way that I dress, and just like, who has time for that? But like, it's so much more into marriage, and I just feel like a lot of children, I was gonna say children, a lot of younger people in our society today, like, that are in my age, like around the 30s and stuff, like, so many of them are getting divorced, and it's like, wait, you got married when you were like 20 something and you're already divorced? And it's because a lot of them, you know they're just, you're not ready. And it's so funny that I was watching YouTube today, and this woman, she was beautiful, she was a Hispanic woman, and she was older. She had to be in her late 70s, and she was like, I'm so glad that I'm thankful for every man who left me, because now I'm truly happy. Like, I can truly be by myself, and now I'm truly happy. And I don't really think a lot of us really understand, like, how it feels good to actually be alone, and to accept yourself, and to be one with yourself, to be happy with yourself. It takes a lot of work for you to be able to go to a restaurant and sit there and be by yourself. Whereas other people might be thinking like, oh, this person looks lonely. I feel bad for them. But when you work on yourself and you're content, your mentality is not even like that other person that's viewing you as that. You see yourself as having an amazing night and treating yourself out to a good dinner. That's really what you see it as. So it's like, we have to really get more comfortable with being, you know, with ourselves and being alone. Because let's say you are to get married, and something happens to your spouse, like, just like you were saying the other day with the homeless person who you knew, that, or she became homeless because
Yes.
her deceased husband's family took advantage of her. Like, we can't you can't just put too much of yourself into another person. You have to be able to stand alone on your own. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't love your spouse, and you shouldn't deeply adore and care for them, but at some point you have to be able to be alone, because your partner is going to leave you one day, no matter how long it is that you guys are together. But I just wish that people would start getting married for the right reasons, not just for financial stability, or because we look like goals, we look like couple goals and stuff like that. Because when you start to really meet a lot of these
Mhm.
people and see their demons, and you're living with somebody and they're like a filthy animal, dirty socks everywhere.
Mm.
When you start to see how, when this person is in a rush, they don't care. They just, take off
Yeah.
their clothes and throw things everywhere. And then, you have to clean up behind this person, or
Mhm.
maybe, you got married and now you have kids, and now this man is expecting you to, to do these things that, you weren't really expecting to do. He comes home and he doesn't understand that you're tired and that you've been, running around kids all day. This is your third time mopping. There's still more food on the floor. You've got to make dinner. You made his lunch and his breakfast this morning, and he still doesn't appreciate you. He thinks that, this is your job and that's what you should
Yeah.
do. And even worse, there's some of them that expect you to do that and to have a job, you know?
And to be
So a lot
ready
of
at
us,
nighttime for the festivities.
what?
You can't be
What?
tired.
Yeah, you're tired. What is that? And you know what's the worst disrespect is when men try to tell women that, oh, being a mother is nothing. Like that's not a
Oh,
job.
man.
Being a stay-at-home mom is not a it's not a job. I go out there and I get the money. Really look into these
They
people.
couldn't handle it. They
Really,
couldn't
they
handle it.
couldn't. Nope, not at all. Not at all. And there's some of them, they can't even be around their own kids that long. So imagine that now, you get married to somebody who is like this, who's the complete opposite of who you really thought that they were, or who they were trying to show you. And now you have children with this person. So it's
Oh,
really important. You guys, we have to really start protecting ourselves more and seeing our children as a legacy, as something that we are creating. We can't just be having, getting married to anybody. Like, I really, I want to touch on this topic a little bit more another time. But
yes.
there are people who really have like sexual demons. Like
Mhm.
they themselves are demons. They're demonic,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
might not know that about them. You might not realize it, or you might not want to admit it to yourself when you first start seeing the signs of it. You might not want to admit it to yourself, but there are people who are demonic, and they will attach negative spirits to you, and they will suck you dry like a vampire. And that's why a lot of people, they're so tired when they're in a relationship, or when they're married, or in a committed relationship
Uh-huh.
with a person. They're absolutely exhausted. They're walking on eggshells. They're being gaslit by their partner. They can't sleep good because they're worried about, whatever. What's this issue going to be with her when she wakes up in the morning? What's this issue going to be with him? Is he going to be still upset about what happened last night? There's some people who, like, it's like you can't live a moment of peace with them, and you shouldn't want to be attached to that. So we really have to start getting married for the right reasons, and that's if you want to get married, because not all of us are meant to be married. And the sooner that we start accepting ourselves more, finding out about us, stopping and fixating on ourselves and healing ourselves, and finding out, what is it do I like? Do I like to travel? You know, uh, Let me go to this type of restaurant, this Asian restaurant. I don't really eat Asian food, or I've never really been to an Italian restaurant before. So let me try out some Italian food. Let me go to a knitting class and learn how to knit, or learn how to sew. Let me pick up a new trade and learn some, like, really find out who you are before you just give yourself away to somebody, because it's a real commitment. You have to really be there for that person. You have to be there for them until whenever it is that you guys aren't going to be able to be there with each other anymore. It's
Mm.
so important, man. And
Mm.
like I said, those demons, you guys, those demons are real. And these demons, they're not people who have horns on their heads, and they have a red face, and they're hiding, and they have this sack of skin over them. And no, that's not who they are. These people, they look just like you. They look just like you. They're regular human beings, except on the inside, they're ugly. They're ugly, and the things that they do is just it's just absolutely atrocious. They're
Mhm.
only in it for themselves. So just imagine you being married to someone like that.
Dedicated succubus or incubus. See? They can't allow you to be yourself. Like, to me, if two people are together, they're together as 100% of a person. I've said that before. If you come into something and you're 75%, but you think this person's going to get an extra 25, that's wrong, because how can you expect somebody to fulfill you in a way for you to know yourself? If you enhance each other, fine, but it should never be two people coming together to be one, because now you're 50% of a person if you're just one. And you lost yourself in that person. And if you split up, you're 50%, now you're worse off. Be that 100% of a person, and anybody who's really with you and wants to be with you will allow you to be yourself. They'll allow you to try out new foods. I mean, they may not want to do it, but they'll say, listen, honey, I want to come with you. I might take a bite. So they're not going to stop you from being free. You want to make the person that you're with feel free. Oh, you want to do that, sweetheart? Come on, let's do it. Let's try it out. And you got to be open-minded to be interested to exploring new things. You can't have one person who just wants to stay at home and do nothing. Doesn't mean you have to rip and run and spend money you may not have. Every now and then it may just be, say, let's just take a walk down a different street. We caught some footage. Me and Mr. Scurv went out. We went to a fertilizer place, and it was just such, we almost didn't make the connection because the shop was closed. And we noticed, like, why is it closed right now? This says the hours should be open. So we went to the pharmacy next door, and the young lady knew that there was an office upstairs, and they were up there, and she called. And we went up there, and they eventually came down. They weren't open for the day, but the young lady that spoke with us gave us such great knowledge on fertilizer. Even if you're not interested, when I put this video up, it's going to be so nice. It was impromptu. But it was built on the fact that, okay, I could have said, I don't know about no fertilizer. I want to do something online. No, but we went, did a little video walking around and did something there, and it worked out fine. And then when we left out of there, we decided to get something to drink because we were going to go down to the ATM. We said, let me go in there and get something to drink, because I was thirsty and I was hungry, right? So we turned down this block. Mrs. Scurv said, go down here. Let's go down here. So I whipped out the camera. We were walking and talking, and when we went in the store, we ran into people who, the older guy that was with them, this couple, he said, I see you on TV. Maybe he meant YouTube. So we started talking. Come to find out, they got a podcast too. They might be listening, right? So we switched numbers and everything. I gave my number, whatever, but we flowed. You can't be rigid. You can't be with a free-flowing person who is still responsible now, and you be so rigid. You have to accommodate. You have overlap, and you have parts of you that may not overlap, but you have to explore those parts because it may make you a greater person. It may make you both 120% of who you are. And that's great because a good relationship is synergistic. And you're going to have your bumps and disagreements and arguments and stuff sometime. We're not saying it's going to be that perfect thing like in the fairy tales, but you got to be willing to put the work in and sometimes be long suffering. And watch out for the entities that hover around you trying to help facilitate you breaking up so they can move on in. That's what's out there now. Nobody wants to work with anything and build anymore. People just want to catch the good parts. Like when you come in back in the day before we had VCRs and recorders and stuff, and it was a horror movie, and you came in, to catch me at what happened. Well, you didn't make it here on time to watch it. Watch it from this part on, and that's it. So people don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put it in the long. They want to get a body real quick. They want to get the BBLs. They want to take the steroids. They want to do all this stuff to look a certain way. But who's dealing with the inner man? Who's dealing with the spiritual side of things, the emotional side of things? What traumas are you getting over? What have you been through? I can help you to a point, but you got to want to help yourself. Let's make each other better and work on each other and be committed to each other and be students of each other. Like they say, student of the game, we're supposed to study each other, but we're not supposed to give up ourselves. Don't lose yourself in the next person. You have to stay whole, but you got to help each other too. A whole lot of things. Sorry about that, Master Glam. Keep on going. I know you got some more to say. Oh, I talked her out. She's sleeping. I see her muted. Maybe she went off to the screen for a second. I'm going to put the link back down here again.
No, I'm here, Lance.
Oh, okay.
I was just listening to you, but yeah, it's just I honestly, even in the last couple of months or so, I was like, honestly, I don't know if I would want to be married. But this is just a thought, because um I started, like, being with myself, and I started thinking of, all the things that, I want to do. And I'm like, will I be able to find, someone who, you know, meets all not all of my standards, but is the person that I'm, personally looking for. And is this person going to be the person that I also need? Because you want to be with somebody that's, able to support you. Like, guys, if you're with somebody and, like, let's say, for example, like, just like what Lance was saying, like, Lance loves to film and stuff like that. If you're with a partner and you have something that you're passionate about, and this person knows that you're passionate about it, or you have a friend who you're very close with, like, this is a friend that you have for over 20 years, and maybe an event is coming up, and you want to go to this place, or you want to do this thing, or you might want to go out with this person. If your partner is, like, preventing you from, like, doing these things, and this is, like, constantly, like, you need to leave. Like, this is not like a supportive person who you really would, want to be around, who you want to be connected to, because this person is stifling you. It's like so many people almost suppress themselves. And I don't want to suppress myself. I'd rather just be alone. I'm okay being alone, and I'm okay having platonic friendships with people. I don't want to put too much expectations on myself, from other people, expecting me to do XYZ. I just want to be, I want to be. And or if I do get married in the future and I am able to find someone, I want somebody who's going to accept me for who I am, who is going to respect, my mind, and know that, okay, she loves to do this, let me let her do this. This is who she is. Not even let her, like, this is what she does. You want to be around somebody that's going to support you, because it's nothing like losing yourself when you're in a relationship. You don't need to be tied to somebody. And one thing that I found really interesting is that they say that when you first meet someone and, like, you're feeling those butterflies and you're really anxious, you're kind of fantasizing about this person and thinking that they're the one, and it's only been like a couple of days or weeks. Most of the time, that's not that person for you. They're not the one. Not only are they not the one, but this person, like, you just it's too fast, you know? You could be being love bombed by someone. They're showing you all these things to, like, draw you in. It's better when you take your time to get to know someone. There's no rush to be intimate. Like, if you really love someone or you really care about them, you want to vet this person, or start a relationship with this person. Hey, if it all works out, it will work out, and you'll have your time to be with that person. you know so you can't be with somebody who's suppressing you, holding you hostage, and changing who the very essence of you. Like, we have to realize that it's okay to be alone. You don't have to feel like, oh, I need to be with somebody, so I'm gonna put up with these type of things. This person, they're an okay person, and feel like you're being with someone just to be in a relationship, just to say that you're married, but really you're not happy, and it's really sad.
Wow. That's the ultimate ball and ball and chain emotionally, when you're caught up in it like that. That is so sad.
Literally a ball and chain. And I don't know if people, like, know how that feels, but it's not a good feeling. I felt that feeling before. Like, and it literally feels like somebody's holding you back. And then we have so much, like mental illness within our community that has not even only mental illness, but just specific issues and childhood traumas that people have been through. And those things affect you. And if you haven't healed and you just, automatically get into a relationship with somebody, all those things they're gonna start slowly popping up. Or, that person's insecurities are gonna start manifesting, into negative attributes or negative situations that affect your relationship and essentially affect you. So goes back again to us, taking care of ourselves and our
Mhm.
spirituality, our spiritual hygiene. And like, no, just don't fall for anything. Don't fall for the okey doke.
That is so true. Just a big shout out to Jeffrey Jones. You can't see him because he's on Facebook, so the YouTube chat room won't see it. So I highlighted his name down there. Thank you so much. Love and support, Jeffrey Jones. So if you want to, you can come on over to YouTube if you want. That's where all the action is. That's where the activity is. So that's how we're doing it. And I've been multitasking over here. So let me come over here and check a few more of these comments that are flooding in. And right after the show, we're going to have a conference line, an open conference line. You can call in. We'll continue where we want to continue. We'll flow where we want to flow. And it's uncensored. And it will go on for hours and hours and hours. And one more time again, I just want to let everybody know the Patreon is where the action is going to be. Uncensored. And I won't have to be afraid of YouTube banning me, or, they're already shadow banning me, but to just knock me off like that. YouTube is doing it to me too, boy. They're taking away subscribers. What you need to do is check. You have to check if you're still subscribed, because they will remove subscribers from a channel that they don't like. And that's crucial, and that's really terrible, but that's what they've been doing to me. And a lot of people are like, man, Lance, I haven't seen you so long, or the platform so long. I thought you quit. I'm like, no, I didn't. And they said, when I went to the page, I wasn't even subscribed. So I'm like, wow, this is crucial. So all the support and time and everything, the membership page there, or the membership on the YouTube channel, do not go there. I'm taking it down. If you're on there, you can go to patreon.com/LanceScurv. And unlike other people who charge all of this money, it's not a charge thing. It's just to support the platform, the things we need. It's only $5 a month. And I'll make sure that every day we're going to have some fun content on there. And I'm going to put a lot of energy into that. And it's not like I'm going to give up on this. No, we do this every day, several times a day. But when it comes to talking about things that I want to talk about, a lot of times you say, dang, I can't even talk about that because they're going to try to knock me off. But yes, I do stand with Uganda. And you know what I mean if you've been watching the news, right? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about a lot of things. I read an article today about what was it? It's a man who was transgendered into a woman, right? Bizarro world we live in. I got to be careful how I speak now. But it was an article speaking about the challenges of being, I'm like, look at this, and how they want to align it up with what we've been through as Black people in this world, not even just the country, but in this world. It doesn't match. And there's certain things I want to say, and you understand there's certain lines. And, I've had my little threats, little things said to me on YouTube. They'll do that now. They'll let you know, hey, you want to keep it a certain way because we live in a censored world. We can't talk now. And see, that's the thing. They knew what they were doing. This little verbal commercial break before we get back on the topic, but they knew what they were doing. They know exactly what they were doing. Let's give these people full reign to say anything they want. If you could remember YouTube 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, but really like 2010 and 11, whoa, you can say anything you wanted, but that was to hook you in. At the old Poltergeist 2 movie, Let Me In. Remember that spooky old man who tried to get in? Let me in. Well, they got in. They got our trust. We're talking freely, but we were labeling ourselves. They wanted to know how people really felt about certain things, and slowly but surely they pull it back. And so now we're still, I'm not saying anybody here, but the masses are like crackheads now. I want to have YouTube, and I don't want to be shadow banned, so I'll do whatever you say. You see that? Like that man that treats you so good, compliments you, and fills all the voids that you have inside. Although you should be looking to fill them yourself, he does it for you. It feels good. He's taking you out. He's holding your hand and walking arm in arm down the street. He's not looking at any other women. He's telling you how beautiful you are. He's spending all his time with you. You know where he is all the time. He's love bombing you. And then one day he says something negative towards you, and it goes through your heart like a spear, like a sword, and you're devastated. But you're so caught up in how good he treated you, and he's testing you now. And he starts treating you good again until you forget. Or maybe 2 or 3 years from now, 6 months from now, you're walking around with sunglasses to hide the bruises on the black eyes that you have, the teeth that he knocked out. You see, sometimes people see something so good and it's sick. It's sick. Because I'm going to tell you, have you ever thought about it this way? That the narcissistic, sociopathic, twisted men can spot a good woman. The narcissistic, sociopathic men out here in the world are easier to spot a good woman. Why is that? And they despise them for being that way. Many good women, they look for, they have a special radar where other men who may not even have those traits, they can spot them, but it seems as though they don't go after those who have these traits. Like the good woman. Don't mean that she got to have a tiny waist and anti-gravity boobies and natural BBLs. He can see past that. And it's almost like, I mean, that's a show topic right there. And it's almost like he gravitates toward her and she feels appreciated, but he despises her. And I'm going to make you pay for being a good woman. But they seem to always have a knack. This is me talking experience now. They always seem to have a knack to find that good woman, whether she's a beauty or whether she's a plain Jane. I hate that term because there's no ugly women out here or plain women out here when you really enjoy the beauty of who they are. I don't drink alcoholic beverages, maybe once a year. Fuki plum wine, Japanese plum wine. But when you do, or people I've observed who know about the finer wines and they take a sip of it, and even through the sip, some of them who are so into this, I've seen it on TV, they can damn near tell you what part of the world that grape came from, what vineyard it came from. They know this thing so well. So you have these bad men that are charmers that lure you in and show you how hateful they are to you. And then now, afterward, we have a woman who has been through so much trauma. I'm not going to say she's damaged goods, but she needs a little bit of repair before she can get into the next relationship. And the good guy that comes around who spots her also may have a little harder time or challenging time to get to her because of what she's been through. And this is what many men have got to understand. And I'm not making excuses for the women who are out here who are evil. We got some evil sisters out here. We got some bad women out here. We got some women out here who are straight gold diggers. I'm not going to say all of them, but we do have some. But what you can't do as a man is say that it's all women because you've been through something once or twice. And ladies, you can't say it's all men. There are a lot of men who have their intentions and they're ruled by their penises. I understand that. I tell you, it's hard having possession of a penis, but it's no excuse. It's no excuse. My penis has got me into some crazy situations when I was younger, and sometimes a little older than I'd like to admit. But we're all going through things here. But the only thing that can defeat the bad marriage or being married wrong is honesty. But a lot of times we don't want to do that because we think if we're honest, appear less than to that potential mate that we desire so much in our life, because for the right reasons, they're a good person. We can build together, but I can't tell them what happened to me. I can't tell them what I've been through. because they might reject me. But be honest, because it's going to come out anyway. And if they truly want to build with you and have a budding love for you and a love for you righteously, not based on what the world says we should, then it's going to be all right. They will take you for those things, take you in to their heart for the things that you think are something bad. There's nothing bad about you. We've all gone through traumas. We've all had to be in a state of mind sometime where we were off a little bit to get ourselves back to balance. It happens to all of us. I mean, for crying out loud, we're human. We're human. There's not one of us that uses a pencil that doesn't have an eraser on it. What pressure would that be to have a pencil with no eraser? I know I bought some pencils one time that didn't have any erasers on it. And every time I'm writing something, I'm like, oh my God, I can't make a mistake. But life is not like that. It's very forgiving. And when you're ready to get back in it and be open for such a thing, if you want to, because if you don't want to, I can understand. Because time is precious. Very precious. Oh, it's 11:11 over here. It is precious because I can't believe I'm 60 years old on the 8th, and that's like a week from now or so, give or take a day. Lord, wow, where did it go? I'm still here. And never think that you are the trauma you've been through. You've been through it. Maybe you think about it a lot. You're healing from it, but you're not that. What people have done to you or said to you or try to dictate to you who you are, you're not that. You weren't put here to be just that. You take your time. We all heal at different rates, and never allow anybody to tell you, oh, you should get over that. That was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You take as much time as you need. Just don't make it block out the beauty of the world. To put mud on your windshield when you're going on a Sunday drive, now you can't see the beauty of what's on the side of the road with the roses and the flowers and the views from the side of the mountain. You can't allow it to do that. You can heal while enjoying life. Just take your time, because also, yes, we're here to grow, and it's not always easy. Lots of times we have to come out of our comfort zone. But in doing that, it doesn't mean that we have to continuously suffer, as many think we should, to get to that level of righteousness. We must be long suffering. We must always deny ourselves. No, I believe it was Julia who said it earlier. She takes herself out and wines and dines herself constantly. If you want to do that, in this life that can be so unpredictable, if there's something that brings some kind of joy to your soul from you to you, you make sure to go out there and do it. It's just that Mr. Scurv knows I like to videotape, and I like to do these shows, and I like to draw, and I like to write, and I like to do the graphics. I love all of this stuff that we indulge in here. There's a lot of other people who do it, and that's why I'm appreciative of you all being here with me and me with you. You all are stopping me from having a midlife crisis. I doubt if I'll have that, but what I'm saying, you're making my life sweet. And you have the right to do that. Mrs. Scurv loves to go to bed early. She's snoring right now. I'm not saying she's snoring. I can't hear. She really doesn't snore, right? But she's resting right now. She's going to get up early and go open the property. She took today off with I'm going to be here doing what I do. Next week, I'm going to hit the property a couple days out the week. I have my schedule set up now. You have to know how to work in unison instead of fighting and trying to change somebody. But you have to let a person know what you are and who you are. This is what I like. This is something that brings me joy. And get with somebody that has something that brings joy to their life so you can enhance it. Encourage them in it. Always. You see, we don't come to each other all the way complete. Are we complete now as people? I'm not complete, and I'm hitting the sixth decade. I'm not complete. Most likely, most of us will transition not being complete. So why are we trying to act so damn perfect? Let them know I know a dude who married a woman, and he was very angry with her. When she finally confessed that the reason why she didn't let him run his hands through her hair, she said it was some kind of medical condition with her scalp. No, it wasn't. It was a weave. And those pretty hazel eyes that she had, she purchased them as contact lenses. And he was angry. And the teeth, the pretty teeth in her mouth, they were implants. And showed him pictures of her years ago before she got them. And she looked like Leon Spinks's brother. Not to make fun of anybody who doesn't have their front teeth. I need a few teeth myself I'm working on now. But guess what? She felt so bad that he was angry at these revelations. And she thought that he would take it well. Now she saw that this might be a mistake. I shouldn't have hid it from him. But I feel so bad. And she cried. And he embraced her. And she was shocked. Baby, why are you embracing me after I told you that I have false teeth, that the implants and contact lenses and a weave? Why are you embracing me? And I know you're still angry. And you know what he said? He said, I'm not angry with you for you telling me these things. I'm angry with you for not telling me so I can show you I love you for who you are, because I don't love you because of the damn weave. I don't love you because of the damn contact lenses. I don't love you because of the false teeth. Sweetheart, I ain't dumb. I always knew. So you can feel free to be yourself, because I love you for who you are, the attributes, because we can all lose teeth. We can all lose hair. We don't control the color of our eyes. I was hurt because you thought that I was caught up in what the world would think is beauty, but the beauty inside you, I don't care if you have no teeth at all. You're my woman, you're my wife. And to be expressive, I'll tongue you down just as much and just as deep with no teeth in your mouth, even when in breath. But you see how sometimes we get caught up in these things. We work so hard at the wrong things when the attributes that we have on the inside is more than enough that attracts a person. And why don't we work on those attributes even more so? Because if a person is attracted to you for the positive and good attributes that you have, that's better than you trying to keep up with the fad of what hairstyle and oh, this color eyes I have to get, and other things. Oh, I got to get this tattoo to attractive. He said he likes tattoos. Well, where are his? Let him put his name on your body. You know what I mean? Stop making people making you jump through hoops. You may want to go to the gym, but on your time, for you. Oh, my man says, I don't look right. I need to go. How do you feel about yourself? Then evidently that's not the right man for you. Maybe he's trying to get you to be somebody else who you're not, that he really is attracted to. And if he's only attracted, now if it's for your health, fine. He should say that, sweetheart, you're gaining a little too much weight. You know your sugar's a little too high. You know you sit down at the desk a lot. I will help you. I want you to be healthier. But if he's telling you just for a cosmetic thing, if he's with you just for that, then what happens when he sees the next physical specimen that may have the physical dimensions that he wants, the type of backside he wants, the type of titties he wants? Let's just be real. Lips that look like they can suck a golf ball through a water hose. If he's on it like that, let him go. Because chances are when he goes with that type of woman, he's going to catch more hell because he looked at the outside and not the attributes on the inside. That's why we have so many crooked used car salesmen out in the world, because of those finely waxed exteriors, those pretty rims and armor-all tires. And they want you to call up 10 minutes before they get there so they can start the car up so it doesn't have those squeaks and funny noises. And you drive the vehicle, they turn the sound system up. You're not there to get a sound system. Does a sound system help you in your commute? No, but you're distracted. And too many of us are distracted. That's why it holds so true. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. I'd rather be alone than married wrong. I'd rather be alone than married wrong. Master Glam, is there anything you want to say or anybody wants to come in? I'm going to drop the link again. I kind of went off and came back on, but that's all good. You know, we do that here. There's the link in the room. Anybody want to come on in and add? If not, I will say, well, we can continue on the conference line, which is on the top of the chat room. And you know me, I always have these brain farts, but we're going to try it again. I'm cheating now. I'm looking at the paper. 321-521-2515. As soon as this show is over, you can go on there. But that's a number you need to keep, because with everybody else here in the chat room, you can go on in there if I'm not even there and have the most wonderful conversation with all of the people here and beyond. That's my giving to you back. It's not just about the show, but it's about the overall connectedness of everybody here, that you can vibe and say, hey, you know what? Get the email address and say, hey, meet me over here at this. You can come? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's talk about this. And it's automatically recorded. But if there's any personal information shared that you don't want to share with the world, I won't put it up. Sometimes I'll take snippets or the whole thing, but I let everybody know that. And if you do, just say, hey, Lance, don't put that up. Okay, and I'm not. I might listen to it. And I ain't going to say nothing, but I won't put it up. But that's a wonderful way for us to get with people who are all over the world who don't want to call long distance, you know? And I'll drop the page for the international calling numbers. Unfortunately, it's not every country. It's a whole lot of countries on that page with numbers direct that you don't have to pay anything more than a local call. You're not going to be charged. If you live in Malta, if you live in, let me just show you some of the countries: Belgium, Brazil, Hungary, Hong Kong, France, Finland, New Zealand, the Netherlands. If you live, it's a longer list than that. Sweden, Spain, Romania. What was one of the not weirder countries? Well, you know, some countries you don't hear. Malaysia, Mexico, India. You know, I went to go to the LANCESCURV show. Don't feel bad. I ain't making fun of you. That one, right? I'm a clown when I want to be sometime. All right. So what I'm going to do, if you want to come on into the conference line, feel free. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be a little quiet. I'm going to add something, but I like the conversation to go on. And again, that number is up top. If you are in America, again, let me just put it. It's on the top of the chat room. But I'm also going to put it right here. For the visually lazy who don't want to look up. Okay, that's it right there. That's the number right there. Let me put it here, because you know everybody's not in the chat room. Sometimes they're just watching the show and, what's that number again, Bob? Oh, I missed it, man. I wanted to call in. 321-521-2515. Actually, you can call in now. I'm going to wrap this show down now. And it's going to take me a few minutes after I play the songs, a song or two and whatnot. But you can go in there now. If you're the only one, you're the first one, hang in there. If you hear some noises now, just, hey, hello, and talk a little bit. I'll be there in a few minutes. Kevin Clark, if you want to call on in so you can hear the conversation. You can hear my brother who we grew up together. And he's always saying the crazy things inside the room. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this down now. And I will put this conversation up that we do. If there's private parts, let me know. But I'll be there to be able to tell. Anyway, what can I say? It's all good. And till next time, we'll have something interesting to talk about. Tomorrow, I will have several Patreon content to put up. We have some other footage. It may take a little slow. Depends on, I may work on it while I'm on the conference. There's always multitasking going on with me. So sometimes you'll see like a day go by where it's like, oh, he put one thing up. The next day it's like, boom, 5 things, because it takes time to work on these things and edit them. You know what I mean? Okay, Mozinga came in on the way out, so we'll let him in. Mozinga, how are you, brother?
Hi. Thank you.
You know what you just did? You know what you just did? You ever go to a party like late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, like a house party? And as soon as you go in there, you're like, everybody got their coats on. Where are they going? They said the party's over, but they got their plates of food or whatnot. But you see two fools on the floor dancing, like they want to keep it going. But you come in, you hang out for a while. You're like, man, this looks like a good party. I'm leaving. But you've been here for a while. So share with us what you want to share, brother. From Belgium.
Yeah, from Belgium. I like the example.
International with it.
You see, I'm what?
I said international with it. See, with it is a word that me and my friend Kevin from years ago, WIDDIT, with it. I got to make a shirt with it on it. It means you're with it. Like, we see a pretty girl.
I know what it means.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, I'm with it, man. You see her? Yeah, man. I see. I'm with it.
You could also
hey man, fried chicken look good. I'm with it. WIDDIT, with it. That's
so
one of the words.
Say you're with it, right? WITTED.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's true. But the way we do it, that's I'm gonna have some with it t-shirts available. One that says with it, one that says I'm with it. Are you with it? I'm with it. I don't know if that's a generational thing, but talk to us, brother, before we sign off.
Right. No, definitely. The topic, I liked what Master Glam, is it? I like what you were saying.
Yes.
Because I just wrote a song. I sent the lyrics like in the chat. It was like,
yeah, I saw that.
On this very topic. It was like, she was saying like, you're tricking yourself, which is absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's because I was in a relationship like a couple of years ago. Haven't had any ever since, but it was like maybe like 5 years ago. But I noticed how I didn't really like respect or value that person for real. So that was bad on me. But I
well, you understood it as growth. Yeah, you realized it was growth. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like in that song, I'm saying, yeah, me no picture myself dying for you. So just miss me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you for adding that little tidbit on. You know, it's good to hear the song. I'm with it.
But of course.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh no, I'm saying we're gonna head on to the conference line. Probably folks are already there. It's cool, and we'll just talk into the evening while I do my other chores here as far as the editing and uploading things, and I'll be there on the mic. But you know, I want to hear the family vibe, and just if you want to come on and listen, if you want to come in and talk, you know what to do, you know what's there, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm kind of addicted to that too, because as I do my work, I have the family come on and they keep me company, and I add on some things, and it's a beautiful thing. So
you stay active. How many hours you sleep? You stay active, like.
Trust me, I honestly work until I fall out, and I wake up and just start working again. I'm crazy like that. See, yeah. It's like.
How many hours like you sleep, like on a regular basis?
Okay, I do get sleep. I have to have a great. I'm gonna answer the question. I have to have a great feeling of accomplishment the night before to sleep. Like if I feel like personally, like I did good today. I put out X amount of content. I contacted these people for this particular thing or interview or this thing. I got, and then I feel I have to earn my sleep, right? And I still, when I wake up, I can't I can take it easy today. No, okay, my battery's got to be charged. I got to go to the store. I got to do a little walk and talk or get some footage. Maybe I might meet somebody that wants to talk on the camera. You know what I mean? That happened to us today. So I sleep maybe, let me see, 7 hours. I like to sleep 8. Sometimes I'll wake up at 7 and sleep or lay in the bed until 8 or 9. But the thing is that even then I have my phone next to me. I might tweet something, I might say something on Instagram. I'm not addicted, but I move smoothly through my day, and everything I do through my day creates content. Put it that way. But I'm not under pressure, because there's some days that you may not even see me put something up, but I'm doing something dynamic in the background that will show later on. To put it this way, I'm always doing something. I'm always doing something. Always thinking something, doing something, writing something, writing an article or something. I haven't done that in a while. I want to do that soon, maybe tomorrow. I'm a crackhead for this. I admit it.
I admit it. Are you admitted?
Yeah, I'm with it as far as creativity, not the crack. But yeah, like I say, and I'm relaxed. It's like, when you're driving, like say you drive from New York to California, you're driving across America. Well, I know it's a long trip, so I'm not going to speed. I'm not going to go too slow either. I'm going to cruise and enjoy it. So this is why people burn out. I've been online for 22 years, doing all different types of content creation, creative stuff, thought-provoking stuff. I used to get a lot of interviews back in the day before social media came out and YouTube came out. YouTube, you see me every day. People don't want to interview people you see every day. But I used to get a lot of those, right? And so you just flow. There's nothing anxious. I'm not trying to race anybody. I'm not trying to I don't compete with anyone. I don't even compete with myself anymore. I used to do that. Nah, you just flow. That's what it's all about. And you look behind you and it's like, dang, I got so much done. It's unbelievable. It's a sweet thing. Bounce with it. I see you, Tracy J. Roll with it. Rock with it. Learn with it. Stay with it. I see it. Play with it. I don't play with it as much as I used to, but anyway. We with it. Oh wow, we got all kind of t-shirt ideas going on here. So yeah, let me run. We're gonna go into the conference line. Thanks for, coming on in. We're going to bounce with it right onto the conference line. The conference line number is on top. The chat room is pinned up top. And I will talk to you later on, brother. All right? I don't think you can hear me. But anyway, yeah. Let me do this here. Okay, cool. Let us move on. All right. I'm going to play this song that everybody loves. And we're going to chat room. Yep. Chat room.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe you're brave, boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.